My name is Bob, and I'm a volunteer, but I'm also a precinct chair. And I have a job with the Harris County Republican Party, and it's my job to help precinct chairs become as successful as they want to be, to grow the party and get out the vote. That's our job as precinct chairman. And I want to help precinct chairmen do the best they can do, and I also will help anybody, any volunteer, anybody that wants to grow the party, get out the vote. And doing that is a process. It's a process of engagement with the voter. And you just don't jump out there and start slamming people with their bullet points. There's a way to greet people and meet people and get the job done. And when you knock on the door, the first thing you say is, "I'm a volunteer." All right, and then right from there, you start to engage the voter. I'm a volunteer. This is a really important election this year, and I'm encouraging you to be engaged in this process. So, do you plan on voting in November? And most people are going to respond yes, even if they don't plan on voting. But the important thing is they respond and they open their mouth and they start to engage with you. And once they say that they're going to vote, then you throw out a little bombshell there. Well, do you normally vote Republican? And when you ask that question, they're not going to slam the door in your face or anything or stop talking to you. They will engage with you. And they'll say things like, "Oh yes, I'm a Republican and I vote in all the elections and in primaries and all that." Then you're thinking, "Oh wow, this is a person I'm probably going to be a volunteer. Might be a person I asked to volunteer." The other thing they might say is, "Whoa, don't talk to me. I'm a Democrat." But you don't respond to that with slamming them with your bullet points. You say, "Well, let me help you out with that," and not to tell you what to do or anything. You say, this is what I'm doing. I'm Republican because I'm voting for the party that's more responsible with my tax dollars. I'm voting for the party that's more accountable, not voting for the party that's irresponsible or not accountable for anything. And then the next thing is to talk about my candidate. And main candidate I'm supporting right now, although there are many others, is that I am supporting and voting for Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw is the real deal. This is a guy that believes in truth, justice, and the American way, just like me. And he's military like me too. And he's been fighting for our country in Afghanistan and in Iraq, and fighting for us on the battlefield. Now we're going to ask him to go fight for us on a different battlefield up in Washington. That may be a more difficult task, but he's up to it because folks that have been in the military know how to get the job done. We know how to manage getting materials, equipment, and people to get it done. And we're motivated by our mission. We're motivated by our mission. And our mission as precinct chairs and volunteers, grow the party and get out the vote. But for me personally, why do I do all this? People ask me that all the time. My motivation are my children, my grandchildren. Because I want my children, my grandchildren, to have the opportunities I had when I was growing up. And the way I see the country going, that may not happen. So what can Bob do about that? Is I can meet people wherever I'm at and ask them to participate in the election process and to learn about the candidates and to know why they're doing it. And for myself, once you believe it in here, then you can talk about it out there. But you need to internalize this yourself, and then you can share it with others. And that's the main thing you do, is you're sharing your experience, strength, and hope with the people that you meet. And I'm enriched every day by the people that I meet while I do this work. And you will be too. But then you go through the rest of the process. You tell them about your candidate, and then after you tell them about your candidate, then you shut up and let them engage with you, and they're going to tell you everything that you need to know about them as a voter and to know how to respond to them. And when you get finished with your candidate, you got to ask for the commitment. will you commit to voting for my candidate? Will you commit to voting for Dan Crenshaw, or whatever, or any other candidate that you have? And then once and then you're going to follow up with, we could really use some help here with volunteers. Will you volunteer? And because I'm just one person, I can't do this all by myself. We need other folks that are willing to put themselves out there to grow the party and get out the vote. And so the people that are listening to this, I'm asking you to do that. And the whole thing starts with engaging with the voter, not with negative things, always with positive things, and sharing yourself. And then you can ask other things too, like can I put a yard sign out there? And this is the good thing for you to do. And if everybody, one person can't do it all, but lots of us together can get the job done. And then another thing I follow up with is I am also voting for our Governor Greg Abbott. I'm supporting Ted Cruz. Are you on board with that? And most people by this time are into where you're at with all this, and you'll get a yes for the other candidates as well. And then the thing that you don't want to forget are our judges. It's so important that we support our Republican judges, because they're the ones that are going to follow the law. They're the ones that are going to do their homework before they adjudicate, and they're going to adjudicate fairly based on the law, not the way they think the law should be. And they're totally committed to that, and they also have incredible work ethic, always trying to get their job done in the most efficient manner and get it right the first time. If we have more Republican judges in places getting it right the first time, we may not even need the appellate courts. But for you the volunteer, just do what you can to grow the party, get out the vote, and remember a couple of key things, because sometimes you'll run against some ugly people, but that should affect you. And something I say all the time is I make mistakes, but I'm not a mistake. And I always feel good about me and the work that I do, and nobody can hurt me. And the thing is, it's just words. People aren't beating you up or anything. It's just words. If you feel good about yourself, they can't hurt you. And the thing to think about is you're really doing good work. And you can never go wrong if you believe in what you're doing and give it your best shot. So these are a few tips on how you can do this work. And the other thing is have fun, enjoy yourself, have a sense of humor, and know that you're doing it for all the right reason. So my final closing, and it's the final closing I give when I leave when I'm talking to somebody at their door. Happy voting. Over and out.